Greetings and thank you for your presence. Yes, I am overjoyed that you are here. It's not simply a random video that you happen to come upon. There's a purpose behind why you found it. This one thing stood out to you among the myriad other things that you might have seen, and you choose to watch it. There was no mistake made there. Clearly, there is something more profound at play here. Something within you is synchronizing with this particular moment. There is a possibility that you have been silently requesting that things change in your life. It's possible that you've been looking for a sign or waiting for a gentle prod from the cosmos until you finally decide to take action. Listen carefully if you have been experiencing that stirring in your heart that suggests there is more to your life than what you are now experiencing. If you have been feeling this stirring, then pay special attention to it. That sensation is not a product of your imagination. Yes, that is a genuine thing. It's possible that what you're going to hear may throw open a door that you were completely unaware existed. The way you are feeling is not unique to you. Despite the fact that everything appears to be in order on the surface, a significant number of us eventually arrive at a moment when we begin to feel as though something is missing or out of place. We start to want for a more profound meaning, a more significant purpose, and a more distinct route. And as that desire begins to develop within you, life reacts to it from the inside out. Despite the fact that you do not yet comprehend how or why it is that it takes you to precisely what you want, it does so. Now is the time to take a few deep breaths, relax, and let your heart expand. Rather than being a result of a mistake, this message was specifically crafted for you. This place has been brought to you by something that is far larger than yourself. And now that you are here, everything may start to change. Despite the fact that you might not be able to distinguish the difference just now, you have already begun to go in a different path. You have already decided to accept something more significant simply by being here. You have acknowledged your inner voice, which is the voice that does not yell but rather nudges, and the voice that does not haste but exposes. And there is a purpose behind the voice that led you here. It was aware that you were prepared. Perhaps you are not completely prepared. Perhaps you do not have all the answers. But you are prepared enough to listen, sufficient to think about, and sufficient to begin. Because the reality is that no one ever feels completely ready to live the life that they were destined to live on their own. To greatness, when we enter into greatness, we do not do so with promises. Rather, we go into it with belief, even if it is only a faint glimmer at the beginning. Additionally, that glimmer, that spark, it has been present within you the entire time. It is the reason that you have continued to go through days when everything seemed to be burdensome. You have been able to persevere through situations that ought to have caused you to break down. It's the reason you continue to dream despite all the bad things that have happened to you. That spark serves as a reminder to you that you have not fully given up on the situation. You are continuing to cling to it and are endeavoring to obtain more. Also, this alone gives you a significant position. On the other hand, power is pointless if you do not remember how to utilize it. See, the majority of individuals spend their entire lives sleeping. They go about their days reacting to everything that is going on around them, but they are unaware that they have the capacity to change their whole reality. This is not as a result of luck or chance, but rather as a result of their own deliberate actions. Before taking action, you do not have to wait for everything to be in perfect alignment. To say that is a falsehood. It is via action that you bring about alignment, which is the true secret. You begin the process of creating something new, something magnetic, and something that cannot be stopped when you make the decision to trust in your capacity to change your circumstances, even when there is no obvious proof to support this belief. Does the universe exist? Does the universe exist? Does the universe exist? There is a reaction to that. It reflects the beliefs that you have. It's not because they're lucky, but rather because they've trained their thoughts to search for opportunities rather than hurdles, which is why individuals who anticipate good things appear to always attract them. Their hearts have been conditioned to experience wealth rather than a sense of deficiency. Also, the inner world has the ability to modify the outer world over time. Similarly, you are able to. You are already equipped with all that you need. All that is required is for it to be enabled. Perhaps you've attempted this previously. It is possible that you have begun and then stopped, gained momentum and then lost it. That is all right. It's a necessary step in the procedure. Never is growth a linear process. The most important thing is that you continue to make the decision to rise again and over again. Due to the fact that each time you give it another shot, you get more strong. Your awareness and sensitivity increase as a result. Moreover, awareness, all of that is included. You will be able to get control of your situation if you begin to become aware of your thoughts, habits, and triggers. Instead of reacting, you begin to respond to the situation. You begin to make choices rather than pursuing them. This is the point at when life begins to feel less organized. When this happens, things start to make sense. Even though you might not be aware of it just yet, you are already transforming. The energy that you exude is unique. The expansion of your consciousness is a direct result of your curiosity, which brought you here. This is not a minor amount, it is monumental. And even if no one else notices it, feels it, or applauds it, you should still do it by yourself. Mostly due to the fact that inside work, often known as the unseen job, is frequently the most difficult, but it is also the most vital. In other words, it is the basis upon which everything else is built. The fact that we are conditioned to look for approval from other people is rather amusing. Before we allow ourselves to feel pleased of our accomplishments, we wait for other people to point out our progress. What would happen, however, if you did not want the approval of anybody else in order to feel proud of how far you had come? What happens if you are already sufficient right now, in every way just as you are? Not because you have fulfilled all the requirements, but rather because you are showing up, because you are making an effort, and because you are conscious of the fact that there is more that is intended for you. Are you familiar with that sensation? The one that begins deep within you and continues to pull at your soul? The awareness that you are meant for something more than merely survival? The idea is not a fantasy. It is your calling to tell the truth. In other words, it is not asking you to work more. Rather, it is asking you to trust more deeply, to have faith in oneself, have faith in your own timing, the ability to have faith that you are constantly being directed, even when the path that lies ahead may be unpredictable, even when it seems as though you are all by yourself, and even when things don't make any sense at all. The way that life works is that it has a peculiar way of tearing us apart just enough to let the light in. Sometimes we are able to withstand that. In order to achieve the shift, we wish to avoid the discomfort. Nevertheless, suffering is frequently the gateway. Do you experience any resistance? That is nothing more than outdated programming attempting to protect you. Comfort, on the other hand, does not equate to progress, and safety does not guarantee fulfillment. At some point, you will have to make the decision to free yourself from the narrative that you have been telling yourself about the reasons why you are unable to, why the timing is not right, and why you are not prepared. That tale is no longer relevant. The time has come for a fresh one. It is time to quit reliving the painful memories and begin visualizing the therapeutic moments that will bring about healing. Rather than waiting for miracles to happen, it is time to acknowledge that you are one of them. Just the fact that you are here, listening to my words, indicates that you are in the process of awakening to something more significant, something that has been waiting for you the entire time. And when you tell the universe that you are willing to get, when you open yourself up to receiving, the cosmos reacts in ways that defy logic. In the event that things start to change after today, you shouldn't be astonished. In the event that you begin to acknowledge indications, opportunities, and synchronicities, you should not be startled. They were always around. You simply weren't paying attention to them. You, however, are now. Also, when you are operating from a position of awareness, life will no longer seem like something that is happening to you. Rather, it will feel like something that is occurring through you. You transform into the creator, not just of dreams, but also of the world around you. In addition, there is the location of your power. There are certain outcomes that you do not need to control. All you need to do is learn how to concentrate, because your energy flows in the direction that your focus is directed. If you dwell on what you do not have, you will bring more of it into your life. Being grateful is a powerful tool for increasing one's abundance. If you dwell on your fears, they will increase. However, if you concentrate on the possibilities, doors will open for you. Possibly not all at once, and possibly not in the manner that you anticipate, but they do open, at all times. And as you begin to believe in the potential of anything happening, your energy shifts. The way you walk is different. The way you talk is different. People take attention, even if they are unable to articulate why. You can feel a change in them. Moreover, you start drawing in things that are in tune with that frequency. That is not wizardry. Rather, it is alignment. If you were to trust yourself when it would have been easy to question yourself, you will receive this prize. When you look back on the past, you could feel as though you have squandered time, committed errors, or missed an opportunity. However, here is something that you must keep in mind. Nothing is ever wasted. Every single experience, every single setback, and every single delay served to prepare you. It was educational for you. There was a strengthening of your resilience. Lessons like that were necessary for the person you are becoming. You are now prepared to make use of them, not in order to endure, but in order to thrive. You are not late. So if you have ever felt like you were falling behind, remember this. You made it to the perfect moment. Horrified, everything is developing precisely how it ought to be evolving. And at this very moment, this is the beginning of the next chapter in your life. And it is not because you have solved everything. Rather, it is because you are determined to move on regardless. The purpose of this is to serve as a reminder to you that you were never intended to lead a timid existence. You are destined to flourish, to shine, and to grow, not later. Not when everything is perfect, but right now, at this very now. Because the only thing that stops you from getting to where you want to be and where you are right now is the idea that it is possible to get there. Therefore, you should trust it, not because it is simple, but because it is honest. Welcome, experience it. Allow it to soak in. Give these words the opportunity to reach the part of you that has been looking for a sign. It is over now. This is your precious time. And you are already aware of that if you are still watching to this point. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Keep your eyes closed. Imagine a version of yourself who already possesses the life that you have always dreamed of having. Experience their vitality, their self-assurance, and their tranquility. Now you should understand that there is no separation between you and that version. Just a choice to make. It is only a decision to behave as if it is already the case. The reason for this is that when you do that, time begins to stop moving. You begin to move in a different manner. That which is congruent with your vision begins to come to you. It's not about faking. It never was. It's about coming into alignment with the truth that has always lived inside you. The truth that says you are already enough. The turning point is not someday in the future. It's now. Right here in this moment. Worthiness isn't something you chase or earn. It's something you remember. And then claim. So claim it right now, without hesitation, without apology. Your future self is watching, not from a place of judgment, but with hope and pride. That version of you already knows what's possible, because they've seen it, they've lived it, they are waiting for you. Not with pressure, but with open arms. They know that the free, fulfilled, abundant, unstoppable version of you already exists. You're not building it from scratch, you're catching up to it, and the journey begins today. If something in this message stirred your heart or lit up a forgotten part of your soul, even for a moment, don't ignore it. Let it speak. Let it guide you. Let it invite you to take one small sacred step forward, especially if it feels scary, especially if it feels unfamiliar, because that's exactly how transformation begins, with one quiet moment of courage. And if you ever find yourself in doubt, if your light dims, if the noise of fear tries to pull you back, come back to this message. Revisit this truth. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are powerful. You are guided. And you are deeply supported, seen and unseen. You didn't stumble upon this by accident. Your soul brought you here for a reason. This was your sign. And if this message spoke to your spirit, I invite you to like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Wisdom for the Spirit, where every word, every insight, and every moment is crafted to help you awaken to the divine within. So now, I'll leave you with just one question. What would happen if you stopped running from who you are and started walking toward who you're meant to become?